Jai Hind students, welcome back to my IT tutorials, and today I'm going to start the unit 3 or third unit of your book, and the first chapter is operating system. So today we are going to talk about the operating system. It's a session 1 of unit 3. Objectives that I have jotted down already. We'll see what OS is, that introduction part of it. The function of OS. We'll see what are the role of OS, types of OS, different types of OS that we'll discuss. Windows 7/10 as an OS, and then starting Windows, desktop and taskbar. These are the objectives for today. Let's see. Operating system, this chapter is one of the important chapter for us. The reason your computer works with the help of OS. Without OS, the computer hasn't got any meaning. Your computer is just like a garbage box if the OS is not working. Operating system, in short, generally we used to say OS, is an software or system software which help us to operate our computer. You may also say operating system is a software which perform each and every task on your computer. No task can be performed without the help of OS. Operating system acts as an interface between you and your computer. It means we cannot communicate with our computer if there is no OS. And your instructions, whatever you provide in the form of command, is understood by your computer due to the OS. If the OS is not there, the communication or listening between you and your computer will be not possible. So OS is a software, system software, which help us to operate our computer. It's perform each and every task on your computer. It acts as an interface between you and your computer. That is what OS is. And it's a backbone otherwise for your computer. Without that, computer will be not able to perform any task. So this is what the operating system is. I hope the introduction part of definition of the OS is very known to you all now. It's a system software which helps us to operate our computer. It is a system software which acts as an interface between you and your computer. That is what OS is. Now we'll see what is the role of OS or different functions of OS. Now, as I mentioned, every task you perform on your computer is due to the OS. It means there are plenty of roles that OS performed, or there are many functions of the OS. First and foremost, it manages the memory. First and foremost, memory management. If I'm talking about the function of OS, just see, first function, memory management. Memory management. Now memory management, you all know what is memory. It's a chunk of spaces in our computer which is very required to perform any task. Once we launch any application, there are a space required in our computer to open it, to perform that application, to perform some task in that application, and that job is done by the OS. Without the memory, no application can be launched. No application can be allowed to perform anything, and that is one of the crucial tasks your OS perform, or the function of OS is memory management. To manage the memory, once a memory required for any application, it's a OS which provide that memory. It means we are very free. We are just opening an application. The memory which is required for that application is managed by the OS. Second is resource management. Resource management. Now resource management is again the part of your OS. Whatever is required by you or someone else is asking for it, this is managed by the this is managed by the OS. So OS also again manage the resources. Here the resources means your hardware, your software, the files that you want to access of your computer. Even your hard disk is also the resource. Even the internet is going on, that is also the resource. So hardware resource, software resource, files and everything that managed by the OS. So first is memory management, second is resource management, third is even your error management is also the part of your OS. Once there is some error occur, due to some reason, your OS handle that error. So error management is also the part of your OS. Then accounting job, accounting task. You must have seen time to time your computers display the different sorts of messages related to the particular software. The software is going to expire after so many days. After 30 days, your antivirus is going to expire. So all the accounting job, sometimes the virtual memory is less in your computer. You will be not able to perform the task, or your machine start hanging. This all accounting job is done by your operating system. So memory management, resource management, error management, accounting task, file handling is also the task of your OS. When you are trying to create a file, the creation of the file, editing that file, deleting that file, this all comes under the file handling. So whatever the file you are creating, with what application hardly make the difference, but the file handling is managed by your OS. So these are major tasks like the memory management, resource management, error handling or error management, you can say, accounting tasks, file handling. These are the tasks of your OS. Let's see some more tasks if it is there. I'll discuss that. So you have a memory management, file handling, this all. Even your security part is also of it. Security, which protect your computer from unauthorized access. This is also managed by your OS. So these are the tasks of your OS. It means if the OS is not there, we'll be not able to manage this all. So OS is very crucial for our computer, and these are the functions of OS. So we have a process management, memory management, device management, file handling, security, error, and job scheduling. You can take that example also, job schedule. Now, once I am opening a task, once I have a more than one task going on, which task will take place first, which task will be processed first, this is what the job scheduling is. Once you have given the more than one command to the printer, it's a OS which basically takes care about that printing job. So job scheduling means scheduling of the job or task that is going in a computer done by the OS. Securities, it's also provided the security to our computer. Whatever the file we create or management of the file done by the OS. Accounting, sorts of any again things are going to expire, software going to expire, how many days are there, or what the how much memory is left, and this all kind of calculations related to the accounting is done by the OS. Error handling, once there is an error in your computer due to some reason, it's also handled that. Resource management, whatever required by you and by someone else from your computer, managed by the OS. And memory management will also provide the sufficient memory to each application which are going on your computer. So once we launch application needs some memory to work, and that memory is provided by the OS. So this is what the functions of OS. I hope the functions of OS must be very clear. It's manage the memory on our computer. It's also manage the resources of our computer, all the peripherals, hardware, software, all resource for your computer, and can be managed. If you are trying to access a CD-ROM, if you're trying to access a hard disk, this is what the resource is, and OS gives the permission for that. Accounting job done by the OS, error handling done by the OS, job scheduling done by the OS, resource securities management is again done by the OS, and this is what of the function of the OS. Now come to the type of OS. Now OS can be categorized in a different category. Operating systems is basically the two categories, you can say GUI and CUI, graphical user interface and command user interface. These are the two categories. First you can say GUI and CUI. Now this is graphical user interface, and this is command user or character user, command user interface. Now, with your OS, either you can work with the graphs, then your OS is a graphical user OS. And once I am able to interact with a command or character, it means I have to apply the command for each and every task that we want to perform. Then it comes under the CUI category. Under the GUI, graphical user interface, your Windows is example of Windows OS. This operating system is a GUI part, and CUI may we have a DOS, Unix or Linux. These are part of your CUI, command user. Here we have to apply command. And in case of Windows, we never remember any command. We simply click on a particular image, like a start button you have at the bottom, right, left corner. You just click on it, there is a program folder, you go to the program and the program starts. That is how we work in the GUI. So there are two categories, GUI based and CUI based. Under the GUI now, we have a different kind of OS. First is a single user OS. Single user OS. As the name suggests, the single user OS is a kind of OS which basically allow one user at a time to work. It means the OS which support only one user at a time is known as single user OS. And DOS is an example of single user OS. Mind it. If you have a DOS loaded in your computer as an OS, you cannot work simultaneously more than one. It means more than one people cannot access that computer. You have to leave that computer that another person can. Though every computer accessed by only one person, but mind it, in the case of GUI or in the case of multi-user, that same machine can be accessed from the different corner by the different people. That is what the multi-user is. The second OS itself is a multi-user OS. Now, difference between this single and multi-user OS is single user OS allow only single user to work on that OS. Multi-user OS, as the name suggests, this can be used by more than one user at a time. And Windows XP onward, whatever the OS we have, Windows XP onward, it means 7, 8, 10, these all are example of multi-user OS. Even the Unix is a multi-user OS. Linux is also example of multi-user OS. So single user OS allow only one user to work at a time, and DOS is one of the example. Multi-user OS is a type of OS which allow more than one user to work at a time. Then we have a third category, multitasking OS. Now multitasking is again a kind of OS which allow more than one task to be performed together. Once your OS is capable enough to perform more than one task together, that kind of OS is known as multitasking. We have a multi-processor OS. Now multiprocessor OS is a kind of OS which may allow you to use more than one processor at a time. So if the OS is capable to utilize the more than one processor or brain together, then that computer is called multiprocessor OS. Mind it, multiprocessor OS is more capable than the other OS. Reason it's using the more than one brain. So multiprocessor and multitasking, multi-user and single user. Single user used by only one user, multi-user used by more than one user together from the different places, and multitasking support more than one task to be performed. Multiprocessor support more than one processor to be used together in your computer is called multiprocessor. We have a multi-threading also. Multi-threading OS. Now multi-threading means, try to understand what thread is. Thread is a small piece of a task. Suppose a big task we want to perform. Whatever the individual task you perform to accomplish that big task is called a thread. For example, you take the example of timer. Timer is an example of multi-threaded application, because to measure the time or to have the time, hours, minutes, second, this all three again needles works together. Once a second needles moves completely again entire 360 degrees or 24 hours, you have a 1 minute again increase. Once that again completed one entire again, then it will have a 1 hour. It means This time, second, minute and hours, these are the different threads of the time as an whole soul class. Likewise, there are tasks which has got a many other tasks, a small task inside it, and overall to manage the task we have to see all tasks, and that is called multi-threaded. It means in a task, if there is subtask attached with it, then that OS is known as multi-threading OS. So multi-threaded OS or multi-threading OS is an OS which can perform more than one task inside a task together is an example of multi-threaded OS. So we have a single user, then we have a real-time OS, next, real-time. Now real-time OS is a kind of OS which work on real-time fashion or manner, where time is a deadline. Within that, the OS perform the task. Beyond of it, OS never entertain you. For example, you can take the example of the different appliances you are using at home. Home appliances that you're using, like AC. If you have set the temperature of AC 22 degree or 20 degree, you know once the temperature of your room will be 20 degree, the AC automatically will be there in the fan mode. Once you set the timer for your washing machine for 20 minutes, after 20 minutes, your washing machine is bound to close, it will not again continue. That is what real time. Likewise, time bomb. If you set the time at 4 o'clock, it will blast. Even it is there in your hand and you are in winter, it will be beyond of your control, and that is what real-time OS is. So real-time OS is OS which work on real-time fashion or manner. Multi-threaded OS is an OS which has got a task, which has got a subtask inside it, and multiprocessor OS is an OS which have a more than one processor together can be used. Multitasking is an OS which have more than one task or can be handle the more than one task together. Multi-user, the type of OS which allow the more than one user to work at a time, and single-user OS is a kind of OS which only allow single user at a time. This is what your multi-user and types of OS we have. I hope single user, multi-user, multitasking, multiprocessing, multi-threading and real-time OS. These are the types of OS we have seen. Now, in your book, you have a single user. I already talked graphical user interface. I talked the graphical user interface is a kind of OS where graphs or picture or image acts as an interface between you and your computer. So once a picture or graph acts as an interface between you and your computer, it's called GUI. And CUI, command user interface. Once a command acts as an interface between you and your computer, then it's called a CUI. So I discussed already GUI, what GUI is. Then we have a multi-user, I already talked, multitasking I talked, multi-threading I talked, real-time and then distributed OS. One more is there in your book, distributed OS. Distributed. Let's see what it is. Now distributed OS is a kind of OS which performs certain tasks and send to the different OS or other OS to perform the rest task. That's why it's called distributed OS. The OS which is enough capable to perform certain tasks, and after that it sends the entire task to be processed by the other OS to some other computer, and that OS is called distributed OS. In the factory, in the industry, we have a computer which does some task and then it again move the task to the further again processing to the different computer, and at that time the OS that we are using is called distributed OS. So this is what the types of OS we have. Then we have a Windows 7/10 as an OS. Now Windows 7 you are very familiar with. Windows 7 is a kind of OS which is GUI based OS, and very user friendly we are because we worked many years on Windows 7. Nowadays we are working on Windows 10. So we should talk about the 10. Basically, though less or more the function of OS is the same. So Windows 10 is also the latest again version of the operating system by the Microsoft, and wherever the window term is, it's from the Microsoft. So it's one of the again multi-user graphical user interface OS by Microsoft Corporation. And in this Windows, if it is a 10, once you will click on the start button, you will see a different again interface, because 10 has got different interface. We have a rectangular box. Inside the rectangular box we have a different again application in the small box. Since each and every again application that you launch in window comes or appear in a window, that's why the name has given Windows operating system. Why the Windows operating system is known as Windows? Because whatever the application we run on Windows based OS always coming in a separate window. That's why the Microsoft has given name Windows OS. Now in Windows 10, once will be there on 10, your start button changed, your desktop also changed. In case of 7, it is a different desktop. In case of 10, it is a different desktop. That is a matter of experience. Once we will work on it. But starting Windows is the same. You have to click on the start button that generally appears at the left bottom corner of your monitor. And you will click on it. You will be able to start your Windows. That is how to start. Otherwise, simply switch on your computer. Your Windows will be loaded in your computer and will be able to start. Starting Windows is here. Just press a power button and wait and watch. After some time, you will see you will get the desktop with the start button. That is how to start the Windows. After launching the Windows, after Windows startup, we have two things: desktop and taskbar. Now desktop, entire screen that you see after launching the Windows is called desktop. So this area is complete again desktop area. Why it is desktop? Because this is the first screen that you see after launching the Windows on your desk. That's why it's called a desktop. The desktop is the first screen that generally appears after loading of Windows OS is called desktop. This is definition of desktop. And taskbar, the bar which is attached with this. Here you can see a bar, thin rectangular box that generally appears is called a taskbar. Taskbar. The taskbar is a bar which generally help us to manage the task. By this bar you can know what task is currently going on. If the Microsoft Word is launched, you can see the Word here. If Excel is there, you can see the Excel. If Internet Explorer is there, so this will help you to manage the task. This will also help us to know the task which is going on. This taskbar also help us to shut down or just simply switch off some task and just simply know how much time a task will take. That's why it's called a taskbar. The taskbar is a thin rectangular bar that generally appears on the desktop, the bottom of that desktop, by which you can know the task which is currently going on and you can manage the task. That's why it's called a taskbar. The taskbar is a thin rectangular bar that generally appears after launching the Windows at the bottom of your desktop, by which you can know the tasks which are currently going on. You can manage the task, you can know how much time a task will take, you can switch off and switch on some task. That is what the taskbar is. So this was the objective for today, and I hope all the objectives that was there, like introduction, you came to know what OS is. OS is a software operating system, is a system software which helps us to operate our computer, which acts as an interface between you and your computer. Without OS, you cannot perform any task. And then functions of OS, plenty of functions we have seen. The OS manage the resources, OS manage the memory, OS again handle the error, OS does the accounting job, and OS also provides the securities, and OS job scheduling is also done by the OS. These are the function of OS. Types of OS, we have a single user used by the single user, multi-user used by the more than one user at a time, multitasking, the OS which is capable to perform more than one task together, multiprocessor, the OS which have more than one processor can be used together, multiprocessor, multi-threading, the OS which is capable to perform a task which has got a subtask inside it. That's called multi-threading, because thread is a part of a task. Real-time OS work on real-time fashion or manner. As I mentioned, the different again appliances that we use likewise there are OS which works on a real-time fashion, and beyond that time it will not again entertain any task. And distributed OS, the OS which perform some of the again some area of a particular task, and then it moves that task to the some other OS to processed, that is called distributed OS. That is what type OS is. And Windows is the operating system, that is GUI based OS provided by the Microsoft. 7 or 10, any you can take. Even you have 7, you can work on 7. If you have 10, then we'll talk about the 10. Starting Windows, simply switch on your computer, just wait for, you'll see the 2 or 3 black and white screens, and after some time you'll see the Windows loaded. Once Windows load, after that you'll see a screen immediately on your desktop computer, that is called desktop. The desktop is the first screen that generally appears after launching or loading the Windows OS. And taskbar is a thin rectangular box that generally appears at the bottom of the desktop and through which you can manage the task, is called taskbar. This is what your session 1 of Unit 3 operating system. Kindly go through this video again, just watch. Like this video, subscribe this video so that you'll come to know about the next arrival of my video. And the second chapter, that is session 2 of this Unit 3, is again related to the OS. We'll talk next day, maybe on Monday, because Saturday and Sunday I generally avoid to give you. And complete the all pending works till so far what you have. And if you have any doubts, kindly leave that doubts of yours in the comments, or directly in contact with me through the WhatsApps. Thank you all.